we'll kind of dive real quickly into each one of them. First and foremost, the environment. Group fitness, obviously, is a large group of people. It can be anywhere from as few as 10, maybe, to some as many as 20 or 30. I don't know if you've ever seen group fitness classes, but places like the Orange Theories, the F45s, the Barry's Boot Camps.
Yeah, they're huge class groups.
Yeah, you often have, in some of the more established businesses, there will be like 2 coaches to a group of 20 or 30, but oftentimes there might only be one. Right? And obviously private personal training is one-on-one. And then a lot of what we do, we found really good success. We call it semi-private personal training, which is going to be a maximum of 4 people at a time, but that is the most. Obviously, those are going to be 2 completely different environments, right? In personal training, it's like you have a tutor.
Yeah, there you go.
In group fitness, it's like you're in the
college professor at the big university.
Yeah, exactly. So 2 completely different environments. Beyond the setting of how many people is also going to be the setup as far as the environment is concerned. In group fitness, it's going to be loud, it's going to be fast, and, obviously a lot of moving parts. Where in personal training, it's usually going to be move a little bit slower so you can kind of focus on what each individual thing that you're doing, and that feels different when you're in that moment. They're pretty different things. Some people might like the fast-paced environment. You might like moving really fast. You might like the loud music. You might like kind of how it's dark. I used to do rush cycle a little bit.
Okay.
And in there,
is that like a Spinga type thing? Like when you're on the
spin bikes.
Spin bikes. Yeah,
okay,
there we go.
Spinga is a combination of spin, yoga, and a little bit of strength training is Spinga. But rush cycle is specifically a spin class.
Okay.
And that environment is loud music. It's kind of dark. They have like lights going everywhere, a lot of yelling.
Okay. You're in the club.
Yeah. The instructor, has a microphone on and they're yelling into it, keeping everyone pumped up, which is a very different environment than personal training, where we're communicating on a one-to-one level, going nice and slow, making sure you understand each and everything versus me shoving it down your throat.
Yeah, right. With the microphone on.
Yeah, exactly. So 2 very different environments. People feel comfortable in each one. Take your pick. The next thing is going to be the program itself and the structure of the workouts. You've seen group fitness, right? Are you familiar with the Orange Theory?
A little bit. I've seen more people like posting about after than like the actual thing. I mean, explain it to me. I'm not super familiar with how they look. Their sessions look.
The main thing that we're focused on here, and the difference between the group fitness class and personal training, is going to be in a group fitness class. One, everyone's going to be doing the same exact thing. That's a big thing. Here's the workout of the day. Everyone's doing the same thing. In personal training, obviously we can modify as needed for the person. That's the big one as far as the program is concerned. And then the other major thing in personal training, not always, but most of the time, we're going to be more strength training focused. We're going to be lifting weights. We're going to be focused on getting stronger. The workout progressions over time are going to be increasing the amount of weight that you're using, changing loads. We do periodization, which means you're doing a specific rep range and a specific exercise for a period of time. And then after that period of time at OTG, we do 8 weeks at a time. After that 8 weeks, the program's going to change. And then after that 8 weeks is going to change again, and then we wrap back around. So when you're in the next, we call it a mesocycle, is what you would call it. When that first cycle ends, the first cycle of all 3 phases ends, when you wrap back around, you're going to be able to see your progression from the last cycle, from the last phase. It's periodization. These are things that are very based in science. There's a lot of studies and data to prove that periodization works. Now, the length of time that you periodize can vary from person to person, depending on goals and things like that. But the way that we do it is a nice general approach that seems to work for most people, which is going to be 8 weeks at a time. And the nice thing about it is you're focused on, let's call it strength as an example. We're focused on getting stronger for 8 weeks, and then it's going to change. Now we're focused on what we would call hypertrophy, which is the breakdown and rebuilding of muscle, getting bigger, adding muscle mass. And then when we wrap back to the strength, hopefully you're going to see how much better you got since your last strength phase. Yeah. How much stronger have I actually gotten? And how much stronger do you get during that phase? Personal training allows us to get that granular and get that small. because they're working in a smaller setting, right, with less people.
I guess I don't even know like what the progressions would be at something like a large group training class. Possible. I guess it's just like a mixtape of exercises. You just keep doing them and doing them.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. And there's definitely, and that's great. That's good. It's good cardio.
Yeah, like I know you're definitely gonna progress, but it's just like, okay, now I'm at this stage where I'm like kind of crushing this. Like, what's next? It's
exactly.
Like,
that's the issue, right? In a group fitness class, there is nothing next. Unfortunately, there's no way to measure progress over time. Where what we can do is obviously we can change the progression of exercises. If we're gonna be honest, there is a time where the exercises, the movements can't get any more difficult. But at that time, we use weight, we use load.
Yeah.
Right? You change load, you change weight, you change reps, you change weight and reps, which changes load is like the total amount of weight is what I mean by that. So if you change reps and you change the amount of sets and you change exercises and you change weights, that's how you modify to continue to get results. You progressively overload. There is no way to measure progressive overload when all you're doing is like cardio-based exercise, which is usually what happens in a group fitness. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Even during our personal training sessions, towards the end of them, once we're done with the weight training portion where we're focused on getting stronger, focused on core development, focused on what it is that you need, we do a HIIT cardio piece at the end of the workout. But it's about 10 minutes at the end of the workout. It's not the entire workout. So I think that's a big thing to understand with the difference. There's a place for both. But in my opinion, functional strength training is the foundation of your fitness journey. Anything else you do is kind of gravy on top of that. If you want to do extra cardio, you want to run, you want to ride a bike, you want to do spin class, you want to...
You have to be somewhat strong to do and excel at those things, is what you're saying.
In a personal training environment, we can set you up for success for all of those other things.